All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music, but swerving out of my lane to do a little political commentary and talk about music at the same time and doing it in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, going to be talking about Mick Jagger and a little cut and paste journalism, politics, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, a little bit. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but before I do that, Lone Rider and their album, which is called Attitude. This came out a few years back. A little derivative, right? The album cover. Maybe if you're a fan of the album Dangerous Age or Here Comes Trouble, yeah, you've got the disgruntled baby. But the other album covers had this baby who was all like a total rebel, you know? So the album features both Simon Kirke on drums and the great Steve Overland on vocals. So Simon Kirke, yeah, from Bad Company. So again, sounds mostly like the Paul Rogers incarnation of Bad Company, but there are some elements to this that is maybe friendly to the Steve. I was going to say Steve Howe, but it's Brian Howe version of Bad Company, the late, great Brian Howe, who was absolutely missed, and what a great singer he was. So, anyway, getting on to singers, here's Mick Jagger urging people to do something this November. Since he's British, now this is the article. This is the brainiac first sentence. Since he's British, Mick Jagger is not eligible to vote. Really? I didn't know he wasn't eligible to vote in the upcoming U.S. presidential election this November, but they're letting you know in case you didn't know. I didn't know. Nobody knew this, but he wants American Rolling Stones fans to be sure that they do. While on stage at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, by the way, the Stones hit Gillette Stadium like every time for the most part. That's where I went to see the Rolling Stones, like in, I don't know when it was, Voodoo Lounge tour. I don't know, way, way back. It was in October and it was so cold, I had to leave. I stayed there. Lenny Kravitz opened, but it was just, I was frozen. And this is the chance you take in New England, even in October. I thought it was going to snow, to be honest with you. Anyway, you left a Rolling Stones concert? Yeah, and this is when I was younger, too. I was way younger. So it shows that I don't put up with crap. If I am not comfortable, I'm not staying. Anyway, let me get back to this amazing article. In fan recorded video, Jagger can be seen telling the crowd, now we've got the vote song for you, which everyone votes on a song that they're going to play, right? The audience can decide, which I think is kind of cool. I don't understand why the audience decided on this song. You know, I would have picked something off of, like Exile on Main Street, which is one of the greatest albums ever. But they decided to go with Emotional Rescue. What's more important than that is November, there's a presidential election. So don't forget to vote in that, Jagger continued. Don't take, this is the phrase that, I don't know. Don't take anything for granted. So it's very generic, right? You would say, well, he's not telling you to vote for Biden. He's not telling you to vote for Trump. He just says, don't take anything for granted. All right. But, the editors here, and this goes out, by the way, to all of the classic rock stations and lands on their websites. Probably landed on Friday, right when the Trump verdict came down. What is he guilty of again? Is it like, it was supposed to be a misdemeanor, but it's a felony and they're like 34 counts. And this is something, what's weird about the Trump thing? Why didn't they do this to Trump in like 2016? Why did they wait so long? Is it because they just want to stop the guy, right? And look, I'm not saying I am the biggest Donald Trump fan. I have a Nobody for President t-shirt on today. Nobody 2024. Bob Nobody. I'm disgusted with the whole thing. You've got a guy who mumbles, and they're basically going to direct you to the guy who stumbles and mumbles and doesn't know where he is, right? And I'm sure he's celebrating June, Okay. I had one person last year say, "What's your problem with June?" I love the month of June. Okay. June is about springtime. A lot of people get married in June. There are a lot of weddings in June, graduations in June. It was, a pretty decent month. Now, it's not the same as it used to be. Let's just leave it there. Okay? I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway, um so the band performed the song Emotional Rescue after Jagger said, "Don't take anything for granted." Jagger, of course, didn't tell the crowd who to vote for. Though, here's your great journalism, though in the past, the Stones have had multiple disagreements with former President Trump over the unauthorized use of their songs at his campaign events. So that last sentence there is basically telling people, yeah, he didn't tell you who to vote for, but, they don't like Trump because of the music thing. Right now, I'm pretty sure Trump has to pay them to use their songs because artists do this all the time. They say, I don't want Donald Trump, like Dee Snider. For a while, he was okay with Trump using We're Not Going to Take It. And then all of a sudden, no, don't use that song. Now, these bands are really stupid to do this. Here's why they're stupid. Now, you're not endorsing Trump because Trump is using your music. Trump is using your music because he wants to fire up his crowd or whatever. I think Trump uses "you can't always get what you want," which is bizarre, but you get what you need, right? So I don't know what he's trying to say to fans. They're like, hey, I'm not so great, but you're going to get what you need. That's what maybe he's trying to say. I don't know. He plays like Rocket Man by Elton John too. I don't know why he does that, but he has a weird playlist. I've listened to the songs that play during his campaign events, and it doesn't really make any sense to me. But what do I know? Other than Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA, or whatever. Donald Trump and God. Those two things go together, right? So anyway, the cut and paste journalism is saying that Jagger is basically telling you to go out and vote. And because he disagrees with Trump, he's probably telling you to vote for the guy who mumbles and who stumbles and who can barely find the door on his way out, And it's just tragic what we have right now in 2024. 330 million people. 330 million people. And we got these two guys. All right. That's my opinion on this. Now, just for the Trumpers out there who are watching me, some people used to follow me and they found out that I'm not like in their club or whatever. But I do feel last week was ridiculous for Trump. Just ridiculous. Okay. Again, why didn't you do this in 2016 if it was so bad? And it's clearly political. Now, the other charges, the documents thing and the J6 stuff and all that. Yeah, those are, I think, and the Georgia thing where he called someone and said he needs so many votes and so forth. Those things have a little bit more substance than supposedly paying this woman to shut up, if that's what it was, or it was a non-disclosure agreement that she signed and then that was it. And maybe she got money and who cares? Overall, who cares? The country's going to hell. So can we fix the country from going to hell? That's what I'd like to see. I don't care who does it. I don't care if it's a monkey on a tricycle who can get in there and fix it. Get someone to fix it. But instead, we have the political circus. That's all it is. It's a circus. So anyway, all that to say, Jagger, he may not like Trump. I don't know. He didn't say it, but the article infers it. And this is your media today. They do exactly what they need to do to make you think by the end of this short little article that, best thing to do is vote for the guy who's in there who I don't know, will he make it to the end of his term if he's reelected? People don't think this stuff through. Well, he's got a vice president. Yeah. Okay, I'm not even going to get started on her. Okay? I'm just going to move on because people hate when I do politics. By the way, best way you can support this channel watch the videos. Number one, watch them from start to finish if you can. I know it gets a little sketchy by the end, but please try. Number two, I've got Patreon. Number three, buy me a coffee. And number four, YouTube memberships, right? So there are ways to support this channel. I'm looking for like $1, $2, whatever you can afford. Over on Buy Me a Coffee, I think I'm looking for like a Starbucks latte. So that will cost you some serious money. No, I'm just kidding. Do what you can. If you can't do anything, I totally get that. If you don't want to do anything, I understand that as well. But the algorithm, they're not going to like this video. They, meaning the powers that be, they're not going to like this video because I'm supposed to just talk about music. Well, I talked about Mick Jagger. I talked about how Emotional Rescue isn't the greatest song for fans to choose, right? Exile on Main Street. Just pick a song off of that. All right. Anyway, Lone Rider is pretty cool. If you haven't listened to Lone Rider, I urge people to check them out. If you like classic rock, this is classic rock. Very derivative of the Bad Company sound. So that's why I like it. All right, people. God bless everyone. Pray for peace in the Middle East and around the world. Pray for this ridiculous election. It's June, and I can't wait for this whole thing to be over. But even when it's over, it's not going to be over. That, I think, is the real problem. People need to get on with their lives and enjoy themselves and try to earn money, try to make money, and try to be happy. And most importantly, you need a relationship with God. I'm just putting it out there. Because again, everything is so uncertain, but God is certain. God is for real, and you can trust God. So there you have it. Done. Religion, politics, music, all of the things you're not supposed to do together.